It's a very natural course, and about 3 years ago we conceived the idea of turning it into a wildlife sanctuary as well as maintaining it as a fantastic golf course. So we embarked upon a program of building a fence around the entire property and appointed a specialist contractor to build it.
We first became involved in the project here at Wairakei when Gary contacted us about the concept of turning his golf course into a sanctuary, and we're involved in restoration projects, typically in forested areas, where we build pest-proof fences that keep all of the pest animals out and remove the pest animals from the inside of the fenced area, and therefore create a safe haven for threatened wildlife and birds and that sort of thing. We came to the site with Gary, had a look around, fell in love with it, just as he has in terms of the aesthetic of the property, and then went about the process of designing a fence that would meet that aesthetic need as well as the fully effective pest proofing that he required. Built that fence, which is 5 kilometres in length, and that was finished in October of 2009, and in June of 2010 undertook an eradication of the pest animals on the inside.
The fence is about 2 metres high and has a hood that projects outwards to stop rodents and other animals climbing in, and then it goes down and under the ground, but only for about 200 mil, and then goes outwards 500 odd mil, so that when burrowing animals come up against it they can't dig down and go under the fence.
Down here you can see where the rabbits have actually been digging into the ground here on the outside of the fence, and inside there's not a mark. There's not one skerrick of a pest or rabbit scratching out in the inside. So this typically shows you an example of how the fence really works.
What the fence does is allow you to remove forever a whole suite of pests that are impacting on the wildlife that are here, and that suite of pests includes everything from mice as the smallest of those pests right up to deer at the biggest end, I guess, but feral cats and possums and hedgehogs and all those things which people don't necessarily think about having a large impact, but they in actual fact do.
And here there's a typical example of the regeneration of plants going in here. This is a little koramiko, and it's once again straight away it's starting to show that with the protection of the fence we're getting the regeneration of young native plants back again.
By putting a secure boundary in and then removing those animals, you essentially release the handbrake on that environment, just like you do when you take off in your car. You release that handbrake and away it goes. The environment begins to thrive, and we're right at the starting stages of that right now.
The total approach to the golf course management is about making sure that we keep enhancing with nature rather than trying to fight against it. You enhance plants that grow well in your area, we get more and more plants growing, and away it goes.
We've also gone through and planted 30,000 odd trees on top of the probably more than 100,000 trees that are already here, and they are growing in, and we're gradually over the next few years releasing more bird life, kiwis and other protected species to enhance the environment for golf and other activities.
On top there's a surveillance system. It's actually electrified, but it's also hooked to a cell phone, so instantly if a branch falls on it, straight away we can get someone out, take it away, so the possibility of rats or cats falling into the place is eliminated straight away. So it's quite a high maintenance, but the fence itself is low maintenance. High maintenance in the degree that someone has to be maintaining the actual integrity of the place, and that way we can actually keep pests out 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, every year. These are many of the tracking stations that we have around. They're baited with peanut butter and a little bit of meat of some variety to attract animals, but as you can see with this card, there's actually not one track on it. And so this is a little ink pad here, and if I put my finger on here, you'll see that it puts a little imprint on. So anything coming in here, where it's a weta or where it's any rodent, perhaps a mouse, it will show it straight away. We've got 350 of these right around the course, and so far we've actually detected no mice on the place, or rats, ferrets, or any other vermin.
Of course, we do need to get through the fence. So we have at the main entrance a fast sliding gate, which is about 6 metres wide and opens and closes within 30 seconds, so that it allows golf carts and other vehicles through, or people to walk through it, but is not open long enough to permit any animals scurrying around the fence line to go through unnoticed.
It's really good for the staff, it's good for everyone on board here to actually encompass not only the presentation on a daily basis of Wairakei, but then enhancing that experience from the golfers with the sanctuary theme coming through. So we're looking forward to it the next few years, to actually, when everything builds up and the native bush comes back in, you guys are going to see a big change in what we're doing now, and it's going to be fantastic, really fantastic.
Oh, this project stands head and shoulders above many of the other projects we're involved in, simply because it's so unique. Most projects take a remnant of native forest and go about the process of trying to return them to something like they were sort of pre-European times. In this case, this is a highly managed, landscaped, lovely landscape which has heaps of opportunity for doing whatever you like ecologically in terms of reintroducing things, reshaping the land. It's a very exciting project because of that. It's a fantastic project because we've got a committed landowner who's absolutely dedicated to seeing Wairakei Golf become Wairakei Golf plus Sanctuary, and because of his commitment to the project, it's bound to go forward in leaps and bounds.
Because I had a passion for both golf and this property, we gradually improved it, and the idea of the sanctuary evolved, and it's just grown from there. And so now I think we've got one of the most unique golfing environments in the world. I think, to the best of my knowledge anyway, it is the only golf course anywhere in the world that there are no pests on the property, and it can be truly called a great golf course and a sanctuary.